Today's tutorial is on how to install mods inside of Project Diva Extend on PSP. So what you want to do is go to your settings and you want to go to tools, and then you click developer tools, and then you go straight to texture replacement, and then you turn on replace textures. And then you create open textures ini file for current game. That's what you click. So then you also want to go straight to dump files and turn on PRX. And then you must go to system and turn on cheats and enable cheats and enable plugins. So yeah, turn those on. So then once that's done, get out of PSP, go to your files, go to internal storage, and you go to your PSP folder. And that textures ini file should be inside of your game ID folder right here. So there it is. It's textures textures.ini. And then there's then once you go to plugins, you want to download these files. You want divapatch.prx, game.txt, and nploader.c. Now, to get these files, you have to search up Diva Patch, GitHub, Project Diva Extend GitHub, as you're installing it for Project Diva Extend. So go to GitHub, and then you download the Diva Patch release zip, and then you extract this zip. And when you extract the zip, you should see a file that says divapatch.prx. And then once you have that inside of the plugins folder, you move the divapatch.prx to the plugins folder, and then you go to GitHub again and search up nploader PSP. So you want to click the one that says C because you're installing mods for Project Diva Extend. So then you close this, and then of course you bring the nploader.c to your plugins folder. And then once that's done, you want to open zarchiver, because zarchiver is the only files app I know. Well, the only files app you want to create text files, because the files that's in your phone just does not allow you to create text files. So you have to go in zarchiver and create file. So then you type in game.txt. So here's a game.txt file. And then this is how you turn on the plugins inside of the PSP emulator. So what you want to type in is ms0:cplugins/plugin.prx1. And to tell the PlayStation emulator to import the mods, you have to type in ms0:psp/plugins divapatch/divapatch.prx. And then once that's done, you go back to PSP. Now, if you go back to your PSP, I want you to hold down this Project Diva Extend button. And as you can see the game ID right up there. mpjh50465. So you press exit, go back to your files, then you go to the PSP folder again, press game, and you know this folder would normally say the game ID. And in save data, you have the game ID right here. There's mpjh50465, the game ID. But you want to rename the game ID, the main thing right here. You want this folder to be named uljm05681, and you rename these first ones. You rename this main folder, and then you rename the install folder to lmjm05681. So then you go to game. So in the game folder, there should be a folder that is the exact name of your game ID, but you need to rename that folder to this code. And then you put the C folder in here, and then you put all of your mods in here. Now, here's something important. The mod files must always end with EDAT. Okay? So if you ever unzip a zip file and it says EDAT, that's a Project Diva mod. You can get your Project Diva mods from the PSP Diva Closet or Game Banana. So once all of this is done, you go to PSP again, and then you press browse. The path should look like this: PSP game UL at JM05681 C. Okay, so when it looks like that, what you do is that you go inside of Project Diva Extend, and then you load game. And then you go to options. You press import DLCs. Then you press yes. And there you go. DLCs. It's Corrupted Miku, Gumi, and Hatsune Miku. And this is how you import mods inside of Project Diva Extend. Thank you for watching this tutorial video.